Hello, in this demonstration I'm going to show you how to prep premolar class 2 maxillary teeth. So there are two burrs which are given at certain school, which are 245 and 330, but in this demonstration I'm going to only use 330 to do the whole preparation. So here is tooth number 4, and I'm going to demonstrate prepping MO class 2 preparation. So it is important to know the dimension of the burr. Since it is 330 burr, the length is 1.6 millimeter and the width is 0.6, but depending on some brand it is 0.8. So when I prep, what I do first is make a punch hole on the center of the grooves and make sure that all the cavity preps are centered along the grooves. Make sure that the burr is fully buried into the cavity, which tells you that there is enough depth, 1.6 millimeter. So make it on the mesial side as well. When you are drilling, it is better to drill pumping motion, little by little, up and down, not just pressing it all the way down. If you press it all the way down, it will generate too much heat, leaving the brownish mark on the floor, which makes you dip more because you try to remove the damaged area, burned area. So it is recommended to use the pumping motion. So now I'm going to connect these two dots. As you can see, when I move, I don't go just pushing all the way side, but stroke, brushing stroke. Brushing stroke prevents the cavity, the plastic to be burned. I don't want to leave any black marks on the tooth. Now I'm going to extend it on the mesial box, and before you do, make sure that you have your extension, how far your extension will be using the instrument. So this explorer has a 0.5 millimeter until the tip, so until this much, and for the lingual until this much. So this explorer needs to freely move through the contact area. So for the lower lingual gingival floor, clearance needs to be approximately until this much. So check with the burr. I'm going to drill until this deep. Leaving a trail, I'm going to drill. Always, it is important to move your burr so that you can prevent burning. And now I think I have gone enough, and I'm going to clear the gingival floor using the burr slowly. The burr needs to be visible at the gingival area, like this. You see the burr coming out. It is safer to do this, even though it is technique sensitive, than using the enamel hatchet, because the enamel hatchet might break the gingival floor margin, leaving ugly gingival floor margin. Now I'm going to extend it more vocally using the stroke motion. Now I'm going to use enamel hatchet to make it sharpen, flat and nice. The handled instrument that you use needs to be very sharp. And the cover surface needs to be 90 degrees to this lingual and the vocal wall needs to be 90 degrees to the cover surface. And also, I'm going to make the vocal surface, vocal wall 90 degrees, the cover surface. So if the instrument is dull, then get a sharpening stone and sharpen the instrument. If you work with the dull instrument, you do not be able to achieve clean cut, and you will be damaging the wall instead of cutting it. When you are sharpening, you need to know which surface to sharpen at the right correct angle, and make sure that you are really sharpening it. You have to rub it again for you to achieve this sharpness. See that the metal particles, we see that the metals powders are generated because of this abrasion. And now when you are using on the wall, you really feel that it is catching and it is really cutting well. See how it is cutting it nicely? Of course, the principle is it needs to be round, the line angle, but people love to see sharp and very nice, well-defined walls. Okay, so the width needs to be about 1.5. And now I'm going to flatten the floor with the burr. Okay. And I'm going to refine with the hand instrument. So birds are used to define the wall cavity, and instruments are used to refine the cavity. It is okay that the gingival floor is round. But of course, the floor needs to be smooth without any roughness. So using hand instrument is a great tool. You can always use the push technique, pushing way. You can finally adjust and smoothen the floor. As you play with your instruments, you'll get to know about it. I think now we have achieved a smooth and nice purple floor, gingival floor, not the purple floor. Now I'm going to air blow. And now what we need to do is we check whether it is 1 millimeter. So get any instrument which is 1 millimeter in diameter. So let's see that. This instrument is 1.2 enamel hatchet. This is also 1 point something. So if I get the instrument, I think this is about 1 millimeter. It seems like it is 1.5. So let's make it a little bit wide. It is 1 millimeter to 1.5. So now I'm going to refine the heavy craft. I'm going to dig into the developmental group. And then make sure that it is not converging. The margin area should not be converging. And I'm going to make the upper floor smooth. The buccal and the lingual wall needs to be converging. Diverging or converging. Because it needs to check the amalgam. We see the irregularity of the upper floor. So quickly remove them with the smooth stroke. Very bird. Very light touch. And let's remove a little bit of this wall, making it following the outer contour. Of course, when I touch this, I don't orient the bird like this, but like this, because I want it to be divergent. If I pick divergent, if I mess up with the term divergent and convergent, this pardon me, It should not be, there should be no undercut. So just gently, little by little. Okay, now we are almost there, making it almost the following. I think it's nice. Almost there. So I'm going to, now once I have touched the cover surface, what I do is the internal wall. So touch the cover surface first, make it into the outline, and then because if you touch the internal wall, it is difficult to make it into a good outline form. But if you touch the cover surface first, and then make it into the cover, flat to the cover surface by reducing the internal at the full depth, then it is good to reshape it. All right, it looks pretty good. I'm now pressing the foot pedal very lightly so that I can control, I can rotate the burr at a very slow speed just to smoothen the wall. See, now it is pretty good. And whenever you want to adjust the actual wall, I recommend you to use the enamel hatchet instead of using the burr. So you can always shape it like this. You can cut the actual wall. The actual wall is following the external outline of the tooth, and of course you should not forget that we need to bevel the actual pulpal line angle. So to bevel the actual pulpal line angle, the best tool, you can do it with burrs and anything, but best tool is the gingival margin trimmer. So gingival margin trimmer has the two sides. One is for the mesial and the other one for the distal. This is for the distal. I'm looking for one for the mesial. So let's see whether I can find it. If there is none, then I think this is the mesial side. Okay, this is for the mesial, and as you can see from the same approach from the mouth, this is for the distal. Distal. This is the mesial. Because when you are working on the distal area, we work like this, right? But for the mesial, we work like this. So we are gonna use the mesial for this, and the way you use is engage and rotate it. Okay, engage it and rotate, and the gingival margin trimmer needs to be also sharp enough to trim the area. See that you can see the plastic particles being cut off, and you have to rotate it. And use the other side and engage one side, one corner, and then rotate it all the way there, all the way, all the way. Good. Now we see line angle bevel. Let me define it a little bit more. And it has some burn marks on the initial floor, top of floor. So I'm gonna just smoothen that a little bit down. And I think there's some roughness on the top of floor, gingival floor. So it is the faster process if you use the burr. But to refine, always the hand instrument is good. So go back to the enamel hatchet and scrape the thing. Excuse me. It is already good, but I just want it to be better. If you wear loop, it is really incredible. Like, in some schools, you can only bring your loop. So I really recommend you to have a good loop that gives you better magnification, better visual aid at the same time, better productivity. And also, if you have an ergonomic loop, that's my study, because after I use the ergonomic loop, I really feel comfortable tapping the tooth and seeing the patients, because I can fully focus on the tooth, on the work that I do, not on the pain of my neck and back. So this is the final product. Let me blow some air to clean. And let's check with the diameter with the explorer probe. So it is about 1.2, 1, and aside from the pop-up floor, the depth, what is more important is the clearance. So if this can pass through, then it is good. If not too wide, not too small, see, it is passing through very well. It is passing through very well. I like it. And when I scratch here, I should not feel any irregularity on the adjacent tooth. I don't feel like major or big catches. I don't feel catches here. And the outlines are smooth and nice. And I'm going to take out the tooth. See the proximal box, whether the convergence is okay, even though we can evaluate it by looking at it from the top, but just to make sure that, we can also check the convergence here like this, but always taking out it. the best. See, we have a round of floor, but smooth, right? And roundness is okay because it is almost impossible to make it really flat because all the instruments that we use with the birds are flat, round, and see the convergency is really good. Smooth, the walls are smooth. When you move through the explorer, it must be smooth and nice, and outline following the external surface very well. Very good. And I like the S curve that I made. It is 90 degree here, and it is 90 degree here. It is more than 90 degree here, but for the lingual, as long as it flows gently, then it is good. So yeah, I'm satisfied with this work, and the actual wall is following the outer surface very well, and it is well beveled. You can see that there is a surface which tells that there is a bevel, and good. It was so practice. First, you need to be perfect on the bench top. Bench top meaning work on the bench top, not mounted on the articulator and using the indirect vision, but work on the tabletop and make a good prep before you move on to indirect vision or on the articulator. May God bless you, and hope you'll have a successful exam. See you.